In 2008, we're also going to set higher student standards and make sure that every student entering high school is ready to do high school work. Last year, Speaker Quinn and the Council did a great service by spotlighting the challenges we face in our middle schools. We've now begun implementing many of their recommendations, and we're ready to take the next step. 4 years ago, I proposed ending the shameful practice of social promotion for third graders in our city. Not everyone liked that idea, you may remember, and I remember it quite clearly. But our third graders rose to the challenge, and then when we expanded the policy to fifth and seventh graders, they rose to the challenge too. And now I will ask the city's panel on educational policy to end social promotion next school year in the 8th grade. We're going to give 8th graders the extra support they need to meet our highest standards. If they are going to succeed in high school and in a competitive world, they need to know the basics before they get there. You can do that. 3 years ago, we launched new vocational programs to engage young people who had either already left school or were on the verge of dropping out. Thousands of them have now gotten their lives back on track. And this year, we're going to begin dramatically transforming how high school students prepare for technical careers in a number of growing fields. Traditionally, such career and technical education has been seen as an educational dead end. Well, we're going to change that. College isn't for everyone, but education is. And building on work by the State Education Department, we'll do what no other public school in the nation has done. Create rigorous career and technical programs that start in high school and continue in our community colleges. We'll offer the first of these new options in September of '09. And we'll lay the groundwork this year, a process that will be led by a task force I'm pleased to announce today. And I'm glad to say it will include Merrill Tisch of the Board of Regents and will be co-chaired by two great New York citizens, New York Life CEO and Chairman Cy Sternberg, and my good friend, former Mayor Dinkins. Thank you, Cy, and thank you, Mayor Dinkins. Finally, let's talk about the most pressing concern to the state of our city, the economy. This is likely to be a difficult year, as our great controller Bill Thompson and others have forecast. But you should know we haven't waited for the hard times to hit before taking action. During the sunny days, we prepaid debt, saved for retirees' health care, and budgeted responsibility. And when clouds started forming last year, working with the controller, we began to cut spending and freeze hiring. Now, we will not walk away from making the hard decisions about what we can and we cannot afford. Next week, I will present our preliminary budget for fiscal 2009. It will contain spending reductions we committed to last fall. It will also rely on support from our partners in state government and our municipal unions, which have always been there with the city in difficult times. But it will also offer something that more and more homeowners need: continued tax relief. We remain committed to extending the $400 property tax rebate to all homeowners. Also last year, working with the City Council, we offered a 7% across-the-board property tax cut for 1 year. Next week's preliminary budget will propose an extension of that cut. However, I must warn you, adopting it will depend on a variety of factors unknown today, from the health of our economy to the continued help we get from our partners in state government, to the outlook for future years after our administration has come to an end. We've been through tough times before and come out stronger because we came together to make this city better for everyone, and that's exactly what we will do once again. by pushing ahead with a 5-borough economic development strategy that's broken all the rules about the ability of city government to affect the economy, by investing in a diverse, growing slate of industries, and by making our city more livable and more business-friendly. Now, this strategy has helped create 179,000 private sector jobs over the past 4 years alone. In 2007, we set records in so many key economic areas: the highest bond rating in nearly 80 years, roughly $25 billion in new construction, a record 33% home ownership rate, and 46 million tourists. This is New York City. And since small businesses are the backbone of our city's economy, supporting them now is more essential than ever. From my own experience, I know that the last thing small businesses want to deal with is a lot of red tape. And that's why this year our Business Express website will make it much simpler for business owners to determine what permits and licenses they need from various agencies. And the Department of Consumer Affairs will also begin offering online applications and renewals for those permits and licenses. The growth of our small business community has been fueled by our population growth, and together they're adding new urgency to the need for modern infrastructure. And that's exactly why we developed Plan YC, our strategy for creating the world's first truly sustainable city. Plan YC includes 127 proposals, many of them pioneering the latest technology to achieve our goals. This year, we'll work to increase our use of solar panels, to continue greening government buildings, and we'll join forces with the real estate industry to make new construction and old buildings greener. This is the single most important thing we can do to reduce our carbon footprint. But it's not the only thing. With the state's blessing, we'll also use technology to create a system of congestion pricing, something no other American city has done. It will help us achieve 4 critical interconnected goals: reducing traffic congestion, raising money for mass transit, improving our air quality, and fighting climate change. Now, better mass transit is the key to our economic growth, and that's why we refuse to wait for the MTA to build the extension of the number 7 line. And just last month, broke ground on the first new mile of subway track that the city has funded since the 1950s. The 7 extension is a great example of our 5-borough economic development strategy in action. That's New York City today. By rezoning some 40 blocks of underused land on Manhattan's west side, we set the stage for the neighborhood's revival. That's New York City today. And now, by investing in infrastructure and public parks, we are unleashing the forces of the private sector. That's New York City, too. And that's been our story in every borough. Over the past 6 years, we've rezoned 1/6 of the city, more than the past 6 administrations combined. And we've invested more than $4.5 billion in new infrastructure and public attractions. Just look at the building we're in today. In fact, this is the largest facility ever built inside a city park. The pool upstairs won't officially open until next month, but if anyone wants to take a dip now, I'm sure we can work out something.